One day I went to Marsabit. I went to a community place called Logo. They have leaves that purify the water to be clean. They don't have side effects. And those are the things that need to be highlighted, documented. If you can't have a seat at the table, create your own table. Then when you have your own table, you can invite other people.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Life as a Young Activist, Cycle for Hope series, Pedaling for Justice to COP30. In this 4-part mini series, as we said earlier, we will be meeting the riders who are taking on this bold initiative to ride over 15,000 kilometers across African countries, all the way to COP30 in Brazil, Belém, to bring the African voices to these big tables. And today we are hosting one of the leaders of this initiative, Hashu. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Maybe let's start with the basics. Tell us about yourself. Who is Hashu? And
I'm Hashu Derrick, also known as the HD. And I'm passionate about art, media, and the community. So basically everything that revolves around that, I'm very passionate about it. I'm also an activist and an advocate at the same time. So that's what I do. I love so much community. Yeah, so also I'm an environmentalist. So I wear many hats. Yeah.
You wear many hats.
Yeah.
Amazing. When did your activism begin and what causes have shaped your journey to this end?
I think activism, I started way back when I was in primary school, but actually I didn't know it's actually activism. But after high school, then entering in the environmental space and in the community space, and that's where I realized what I'm doing is activism. So, and I had actually begun the journey quite long ago, but I actually didn't know. So I can say it just started way back, but when actually doing so many things in the community and getting to realize actually what I do is I do activism, sometimes I do advocacy. So that's when actually I know that starting the activism.
Your journey is really inspiring from how I've known you. We've met a few months ago at a certain workshop, and your work has always revolved around this crazy initiative. I'm aware that this Cycle to COP30 did not start this year.
Yeah. It started way back in 2022.
3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. When first we did an attempt to cycle to Ajabazan in
Egypt.
Egypt. Yeah, that's when we started it, and we didn't actually manage to do it. We failed successfully. We have keep trying it, and we are learning so many things, and I've learned a lot in the duration of the 3 years. So, and I've keep on actually going, and this year it's fruitful. It will be success.
Amazing. You're finally taking on and going on the road this year. Maybe you can tell us what are some of the things that made it not happen in the past 3 years. You started in COP27.
Yeah, right? COP27.
What were some of the things that made you guys not get on the road?
Actually, there are so many different things, but majorly is actually funding. Yeah, you are willing, you have people, but there's no funding for you to go there. Actually, you have the message and you want to involve different people to come on board. So some people also don't believe in you. One is finding also and building a team that can believe in you for you to go.
Amazing. Yeah, you tried again in 2020.
2023.
Again, afterwards you tried in 2024.
Yeah, 2024. So we tried.
It did not work
And,
out.
yeah, and now this is 2025. So it is not giving up. When you have a dream, you go for it, no matter what. And you're just not dreaming, but you also wake up from your dream and do it. And do it no matter. Every dream has a cost. So you must be willing to pay the cost, and you must be the sacrifice. You have to do so much sacrifice. If I can tell you the sacrifice that I've made to be here where I am, behind the scenes, there are so many things. I've actually not done some, I've denied some contracts, I've done so many things. I've been called to work in abroad countries. I've declined the offer just because I want to do this to make it happen. Because I know when I do it, I'll not only be transforming myself, even through the process, but also I'll be transforming other people's life. And that is one of my key goals, to be happy. I want a community that lives in harmony, and also a community that transforms and is sustainable.
Wow. What is the message that you want to take to COP? And what is the message you want to give the communities that you're going to be meeting along the way?
My key message actually is, I know each and every community has their strength, their capabilities. And for me, actually, going through the cycle to COP is actually documenting stories from each and every community. Also, actually, to experience different culture, messages, how are they adapting to climate change? What do they feel like is climate change to them?
Yeah.
So just recording the messages and actually to hear their voice and giving their voice a global space avenue, because most of the people, like when you go to COP30, I've never been in any of the COPs, but I really wanted to go there, actually see for myself, how does COP go? Actually, I know how it goes virtually, but actually I've not been there. So I want to go there
to see how
it goes, so that even someone, a boy in the village, a girl in the village, a child who is passionate about climate gets to know what does it represent, or what does it mean when COP is there, and how can I bridge in the gap between COP and also the message of African, and bring it to the African context.
Wow. Yes, that is a really powerful message. You're doing it for the young boy back in the village, right? To really understand how these big spaces go about and how they handle these community issues. What is the importance of what can you say is the importance of local solutions in this journey? Because you mentioned the biggest part of this journey is documenting it.
Yeah.
What is the
documenting and also seeing the emerging solution? Because for me, I believe everyone has a solution. Sometimes they may have a solution, but when a community comes together, sometimes they may have a solution, but they don't know the solution that they have. But we need to guide them, but they have a solution within themselves. And bringing actually them into the climate cafes. Actually, when you're going through the journey, we'll be having climate cafes, bringing the community there, talking and just having a conversation to know how do they go about day-to-day life. So, and that's why you realize this community has a solution, but they don't know they have a solution. And for you just to be there and guide them and facilitate for them, and from that you have innovations you have things that can change the community. So I believe in the local communities, in each and every local communities, and each town, each village, they have solutions. But for them, it's just to be inspired. They have to have someone that believes in them, someone that they talk to, someone they can talk down with their language, not talking about most of them don't know about COP, or they hear about COP, but what does it mean to them? But having that local going to their level.
True. And yeah, thank you very much for sharing that. And now we can talk about the riders. I'm aware you are the leader of this team, and you had approached a few riders, a few activists who would like to join this journey from the idea of going to COP27 a few years back.
Yeah.
How did you go about selecting the riders? How did you go about that?
Actually, it is not easy, even when it comes to selecting riders of which I want to be, because the ride will be about 4 to 5 months. Selecting the riders is actually not easy. Just I can pick this one and that one. And a few years back, when you are selecting riders used to come. Then we have like a ride, we interact, and some of them, and most of them, like 70% wanted. They are like, yeah, we are going for this. So what is it for us? Are we getting paid? And you see, that's a wrong sense for me, because me, I'm not actually riding to get money. In fact, I'm fundraising toward the drive, and I'm actually thanking all people who are supporting me. And support doesn't mean physically, financially. It can be in different way. For you sharing our posters on social media, for you actually championing us, putting that 100 bob in our till, in our mchanga, for 100 bob for 1 kilometer, it actually means a lot. That is an actual kilometer we have gone because you're supporting us. It is not too little. Supporting emotionally, physically, because even when you're planning this, it is exhausting, it is draining. You need credit to call people, partners. You need to have meetings. You need to have snacks to eat, and it's not been easy. And someone who doesn't understand that, it's also committing. It means if you are going with your ride, you have to commit. You have to be there. You have to make sacrifices. So, and actually, even me choosing the riders, I've been looking at, are you committed? Are you passionate about climate justice? Are you passionate about environment? Are you passionate about communities? And do you want to make a difference? And those are my criteria of actually choosing the riders. And I got like my co-founder, Enoch, and also I got Felistas, who actually even knew how to ride this year and wanted to use cycling as a way of advocating for different issues in women. So, and that's how we narrowed it down for these riders to come on board. But actually, we are not limiting it to that. We are also welcoming other riders along the way. If you can come, escort us in Kenya, in Tanzania, and the countries that will be passing on. Riders are welcome. We are not like chasing you. Come, we learn from you, you learn from us. So it'll be an exchange. We don't like know everything. All riders are welcome, but from start to the end, we have 3 riders at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You've heard that. So if you want to join the ride, definitely be in contact with the team to know when they will be starting or when they will be arriving in your country. Before that, maybe towards the end, we'll mention the few countries in which these riders are going to be riding across. And if you want to become part of this journey, you should definitely reach out. And maybe to continue with the questions on the riders, I'm aware that you started with more than just 3 people and you had to narrow it down to only 3. What was the initial number of people who were interested to join this?
I had 29 people.
29 people.
Yeah, 29 people. So, and actually selecting some of them are my friends. Some of them, we have worked with them through the life cycle, but also I wanted someone who is passionate and willing and committed and willing to make a sacrifice. And we narrowed down to 3, and it is not easy, especially when you are the one who is making the decision, and also you are the one who also has to be at the bridge. Yeah.
Wow. From 29 to 3.
29 to 3, yeah.
I remember a time I was talking to Felicitas, and some of the questions that you asked was, are you ready to leave behind whatever you're leaving behind for 5 months?
Yeah, so, some of the questions that I get to ask are tough because I want it to be real. I don't want to sugarcoat. I want you to, when you're making the decision, you actually know what you are making the decision for. And making a decision for 5-6 months, the journey, leaving your family, leaving your friends, being on the road, doing something for a greater cause, it will not take just one day for you to make a decision. So we interacted. I gave her time to make the decision. He also asked me some tough questions, which some of them I didn't have answer, some of which I did. I talked to her. So even Enoch, sometimes I don't have all the answers. And I can truly say I don't have all the answers because I'm not God. But as we interact together, they have their different perspective. I have. So and when we collectively come together, we can do something greater than just me, myself doing it or them themselves doing it. So that's how it was, because there were some riders who are interested, and you see they have the passion, you see they have the drive, but they're not committed.
They were not ready to leave behind whatever they had.
Yeah, even committed, even for planning. Because also, we are the ones who are planning and we are the ones who are riding. So making that balance, if you're not planning with us, and yet we will go with you, how will you think we can? If you're not fundraising with us for the cause, then how do you expect us to get you on board when you are going?
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really interesting. The journey of the ride, selecting the riders for leaders, definitely really must be the hardest part, because you don't want to start the journey and then you get somewhere, you kind of just have your own differences within the team, because you don't have shared beliefs, right? That is really something.
Or someone says he wants to come back in Kenya,
and you are maybe in Zambia.
That's another logistical nightmare. So I want, when we start, off to the end. It is not a race, but I want when we start together, we finish together. I don't want to leave anyone behind.
Wow. Yeah. So I'm also another part of the team. You can tell us, because we are aware that you have another team behind just the riders. Apart from the riders, the team who will be helping the documentation, the partnerships. Maybe you could tell us a bit about that. And
we have there's another cycling also, people from Europe and people from other continents. They are called riding to COP30, the Ride to COP30 ride. So we also partner with them. So also we have partners. We have e-bikes, the ones who are giving us the bikes to cycle. It's an electric bike. We also have other people, individuals who are channeling their effort. We also have a team that is helping us putting together things, marketing, social media management. So those are the team, the local and committee that is helping us organize this. Also, when you'll be on the road, people will be back here also fundraising for us. and also watching for us while on the road. So we have a team for that. And also we have partners, Blue 80, who have come through and giving us the portable and affordable solar that we'll be using for charging the batteries while you're on the way. Ukifika tuseme uko mashinani, the interior, the rural places where there is no accessibility of electricity. And that's how we can use and showcase also to the community there is also an alternative way that you can use beside the electricity on the grid. And also it's an eco-friendly mode and also it's a sustainable way of actually living than actually using those kerosene lamp which have an effect later on in life.
True. Yeah. It is really interesting that you've given us a bit of a background of how this journey is being prepared, because it's really now once that is done, we understand that is the most crucial part of the entire journey, not when you start to get on the road, because when you get on the road, maybe you already have a certain idea of what you should expect. Like you like Feli mentioned the other time, that you'll be having climate cafes with the communities, getting to interact with them to hear the existing solutions that they have. Right. Maybe you could tell us something about the climate youth and African voices, right? Why is it crucial that African youth lead the narratives in global conversations like COP30?
For us to lead the climate narrative, most of the time it has been seen like we don't have a voice, but we do have a voice. That's why we want to amplify even more the voices of the African youths to reach at a global stage. They have a table. Also, we are creating a table for us. So for me, I say if you can't have a seat at the table, create your own table. Then when you have your own table, you can invite other people at the table when you have a table. So, and this is the table that we are creating. The voices for people to come. Those people who are down there from different countries in Africa to get at the seat of the table, because most of them, they cannot get and have that privilege to have a seat at these prestigious meetings in climate. Some of them even don't have passports. Some of them don't even know how to access accessibility. So we are giving them that table in a local point of view for them to raise their voice. Then us, we can amplify their voices. And also when you get to COP, it will be a bigger table. That's when we raise from those
from grassroots.
From grassroots level to the global stage. This is what Africans are going through. This is how we are adapting. This is the innovation we have. Because I believe Africa is the richest continent. We have all the resources, we have all the things. But what we are lacking is a system. But we have all the things that we need. We have all the natural resources that we need. We have the forest. The biggest forest in Africa is Congo forest, and also the second in the world. And all the things that we anticipate is there. But the moment we lose that, it is hard to reverse it. We can actually cut the Congo forest even in 2 years. But building that ecosystem back, it can take so many years. Centuries. And that's what we don't want it to happen. And that's why we are cycling to give also people hope, telling them there is a better tomorrow. Not hope just for me, but hope even for their children. Hope even for when I'll be having kids. Hope even for them, because even when I sit and I don't do nothing about it, in the next generation of my children, when they come, they're not having something to hope for, something to live. I don't want elephants to be extinct. I don't want people to live underground. I want to see a better tomorrow. And that's why I give them hope to live. And that's why I'm cycling for Hope also raising people's voices and also documenting so that the world can see what's happening in a village in Tanzania, in Mozambique, what's happening to the Namibian desert, what are the effects, what has been there in the Amazon, the indigenous community that have been living in Amazon, protecting it. What in the 20 years, what has been happening, 50 years, and now what is happening. So bringing those voices and telling those stories to the world, they actually know this is happening. It creates a difference. And also, it touches the people that cannot speak or have the avenue to speak on a global scale.
Wow. That is really powerful. And that is now your personal mission.
Yeah.
Right? You're cycling for hope. And you mentioned something, the communities that you're writing for. And I'm also seeing here the intersection of climate and social justice in the picture.
Yeah, I do. As long as climate is part of an environment, you cannot remove, if you have a good environment, most of the things, they'll be just. But when you have a bad environment, then the scaling of injustices actually catalyzes. Because when there's no forest, actually, basically, there's no food for the animals, there's no food for animals.
True.
And that actually cut across people using and don't have justice. So, and using that, the privileged people having that and use that injustice to the people who do not have. So there is an intersection of social justice and also climate. In there, when you are going to the ride, we will want to see those environmental crimes. What has been happening, even through we pass a country, we'll be highlighting them. We want to see what are the people doing on the ground and what do they think can be done or themselves can do to make a difference, because I believe everyone has a solution.
Amazing. As we wrap up, maybe you could tell us a few things about what are some of the misconceptions or ignored truths you think global leaders need to hear from African climate activists?
I want to tell them people on the ground have solutions. They just need to be guided and facilitated just to make the world better. Because most of the people, when they go to those conferences, they think they don't have solutions. But there's indigenous solutions that actually work. Even one day when I went to Marsabit, I went to a community, a place called Logo, and we are doing something to do with water, and they have something that purifies the water. They have leaves that purify the water to be clean. Here in Nairobi, when I didn't went there, I couldn't know that there's something that leaves the community use to clean water and it purifies it. If in Nairobi, it's either you have chlorine or those chemicals and you put it in the water and you wait for them to be clean. But for those who are elder there, they know this leaf from this tree, we have been using it for indigenous cleaning water. And it has been helping us, and they don't have side effects. And those are the things that need to be highlighted, documented, because these are natural and indigenous knowledge, which if they are not documented, then even in the 50 years to come, we'll not know something existed like that. So for me, the narrative that I want to push also to my fellow activists and also advocates, it actually justice starts with us. It doesn't start when we are injustices to our people. We're injustice to other people that we are working with, because advocate and activists go hand in hand. They need each other together. So the narrative that we say, I can say I'm a climate justice and I fight for climate justice, yet within my space, I don't have justice. So justice begins with me. And when it begins with me, it spreads across. So let us be just. We do what we speak, just in the climate space, and also just to the community, not leaving anyone behind, not leaving the elderly behind, not leaving the children, not leaving the women, and also us, each and everyone. We need to hold hands and change the world. The world cannot be changed with one person. We need to do it as a collective effort, and this is our responsibility. You know, one funny thing is the world can survive without us, humans. But as humans, we cannot survive without the world. We need a better place. We need the resources. But the world can survive without us. Even if all of us goes extinct in this world, the world will survive. It will not say, I need you, human, for me to survive. It will survive by itself. But us, we cannot survive without the world, of which we need to take care of it. If you don't take care of it, it will destroy us.
Wow. Thank you very much for those powerful insights, Hashu. Thank you very much. And as we're approaching the end, we remember that we promised earlier that we're going to tell you a little bit about the geographical route these riders are going to be taking. And if you are in any country that will be mentioned in the follow just shortly, then you could reach out.
Yeah.
Hashu is going to tell us how you can reach out, how you could join the ride in any way, because he mentioned you could be part of the ride from just the other end, and also you could join them physically. He'll tell us, maybe give us a bit of a geographical overview of how this journey is going to go, which countries are you going to ride across, and maybe how they can also join the ride.
We'll be going through, the first country that I know we'll be going through is Tanzania. And we welcome all the communities in Tanzania. Cyclists in Tanzania are welcome to join us in the ride. We'll be posting us every week. We'll be posting on social media the highlights of the day or of the week, how we are going through the journey, what we are encountering. So they can follow us, Wheels for Climate, on LinkedIn, Wheels for Climate on Instagram, Wheels for Climate on TikTok, and Wheels for Climate on YouTube. So for YouTube, it's just video highlights, and also daily updates will be on Instagram.
Sure.
They'll know where we are. We'll be interacting. So they can support us by sharing our content and also amplifying our voice. You can support us by removing your contribution financially. Also, it is welcomed. $1, 100 bob, it goes a long way to actually make a difference in different communities in Africa. Yeah.
Amazing. So Tanzania, and we're also going to be dropping some of the countries that they are going to be riding. So if you're a rider in any of those countries, be sure to join the ride and amplify the voices of Africa. This has been Life as a Young Activist, and we'll also be giving updates about this journey, because it is part of the mission that Life as a Young Activist tries to champion for, because we are bringing up voices from the grassroots and on the front lines. And this is exactly that. They're coming from the grassroots and to the front lines, across 5 African countries, across Atlantic, into the Amazon forest, and then into the heart of Brazil, Belém, where over 40,000 people from all over the world will be gathering for conversations around climate justice. Thank you very much for joining us, and be sure to leave a comment, share, and leave a question as well for our riders. Be sure to follow the Wheels for Climate Riding into the Future, and also follow us for more details and updates about this amazing ride. On the next part of this mini-series, we'll be now talking to the team behind this, not the riders anymore. We've had this first part of the series getting to know their stories from Felicitas, Enoch Iveka, and then Hashu Derrick. They've told us something really powerful, and we've got to learn how and where this passion fuels from. Thank you very much for joining us, and let's see each other in the next segment of the series. Thank you.